Africa is not a dark continent. Africa is a continent of light. And Africans must realize that the Europeans did not only come to Africa to colonize and conquer Africa, but they also robbed Africa from its past. Imagine some Eurocentric writers and explorers like Henry Morton Stanley, George Hegel, Ruth Trevor trying to popularize the saying that Africa is a dark continent. But one must ask, were they blind to see all the records Africa holds in the world? Africa is the cradle of humankind, and there is no doubt about it today that Africa is the cradle of humankind because fossils and DNA has proven it clear that Africa is the cradle of humankind. If there is no doubt that Africa is the cradle of humankind, there should be no doubt that Africa is the cradle of language. If there is no doubt that Africa is the cradle of humankind, there should be no doubt that Africa is the cradle of writing. If there is no doubt that Africa is the cradle of humankind, there should be no doubt that Africa is the cradle of civilization. And it is obvious that Africa is the cradle of mathematics. So it is historically unwise and unjustifiable to say that Africa is a dark continent. Did you know that Africa has the first world wonder, the Pyramid of Giza in Egypt? Africa has the first universities in the world. Africa has one of the oldest cities in the world, the city of Luxor in Upper Egypt. The Eurocentric writers and explorers even went to the extent to call the Democratic Republic of Congo as the heart of darkness. But little did they know that it is in the Democratic Republic of Congo that the oldest sophisticated tool was discovered, the Ishangu bone, and the Lebombo bone was also discovered in Eswatini. The Ishango bone is the oldest table of prime numbers, which serve as the basic of mathematics. From the aforementioned, one can realize that Africa has a very rich history even before the coming of the Europeans in Africa. But when the Europeans came to Africa, they decided to write all these negative things about Africa. But it is clear that Africa is not a dark continent. Africa is a continent of light.